Hey mystery lovers, welcome back, your one-stop shop for all things creepy, spooky, and downright unexplainable. Today, we're heading to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the stomping grounds of a creature so bizarre, so unsettling, that it's captivated the world for decades. That's right, folks. We're diving headfirst into the legend of the Mothman. We're talking glowing red eyes, shadowy wings stretching wider than a car, and reports of bizarre occurrences that'll make you want to sleep with the lights on. So, buckle up, grab your tinfoil hats, and get ready to explore 7 shocking facts about the Mothman. And hey, if you're brave enough, stick around to the end. Picture this. It's November 15th, 1966. The air is crisp and the night is cloaked in an eerie silence. The small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, is about to become the epicenter of one of the most chilling urban legends in American history. 2 young couples, probably out for a little joyride, are enjoying the freedom of the open road. Roger and Linda Scarberry, along with their friends Steve and Mary Millette, are looking for a bit of adventure, unaware that they are about to find more than they bargained for. They are cruising down a back road near Point Pleasant, a place where the shadows seem to stretch longer, and the darkness feels a bit thicker. They're near the TNT area, a desolate and abandoned World War II munitions plant. The place has an unsettling vibe, almost as if it's frozen in time. This plant, once bustling with activity, now stands as a ghostly reminder of the past, its empty structures casting long, eerie shadows. These 4 unlucky souls, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, are just enjoying their night when, BAM! Out of nowhere, their car comes to a sudden halt. The night is pierced by an otherworldly presence. Out of the darkness, a pair of glowing red eyes cuts through the night. These aren't just any eyes, they are menacing, almost hypnotic. But these aren't your average peepers, folks. No, these eyes belong to something massive, something unsettling, something straight out of a nightmare. A shadowy figure looms in the darkness, its presence sending chills down their spines. We're talking a 7-foot-tall creature with wings so wide they could span a whole lane of traffic. Its wings unfurl, casting an ominous shadow over the road. They slammed on the gas, but this thing was fast. Like, over 100 miles per hour fast. The car sped down the road, the engine roaring as they tried to escape. I'm pretty sure my Honda Civic can't even hit that on a good day. The speedometer climbed higher and higher, but the creature kept pace, its glowing eyes never leaving the car. I'm pretty sure my Honda Civic can't even hit that on a good day. They finally managed to shake the creature off their tail, but the experience left them rattled, to say the least. Their hearts were pounding, their minds racing with what they had just witnessed. They hightailed it back to town and went straight to the police. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like telling the cops you saw a giant Mothman would usually get you laughed out of the station. But something about their story, maybe the sheer terror in their eyes, made people listen. The police took their accounts seriously, documenting every detail. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like telling the cops you saw a giant Mothman would usually get you laughed out of the station. But something about their story, maybe the sheer terror in their eyes, made people listen. But something about their story, maybe the sheer terror in their eyes, made people listen. The police took their accounts seriously, documenting every detail. The local newspaper, the Point Pleasant Register, ran the story, and just like that, the legend of the Mothman was born. The news spread like wildfire, capturing the imagination of everyone who heard it. Little did they know this was just the beginning. Little did they know this was just the beginning. The Mothman would soon become a permanent fixture in the lore of Point Pleasant, haunting the town and its residents for years to come. Now you might be thinking, okay Shane, 4 people saw something weird. Maybe they were just messing with us. Maybe it was all just a big joke, a prank to get everyone riled up. Maybe they had a few too many sodas before their little drive. You know how road trips can get, right? A little too much caffeine and suddenly everything looks like a monster. And hey, I get it, it's easy to be skeptical when you hear stories like this. I'm a skeptic at heart, I question everything, and I need solid evidence to believe in something so extraordinary. But here's the thing, the sightings didn't stop there, not even close. They kept coming, one after another. For over a year, from November '66 to December '67, it seemed like everyone and their grandma had a Mothman story. This thing was everywhere. It was like the town was under siege by this mysterious creature. Farmers spotted it perched on barns, its glowing eyes like demonic Christmas lights. Imagine looking out your window at night and seeing those eyes staring back at you. A firefighter swore he saw it hovering over the Ohio River, its wings casting an eerie shadow on the water. People were genuinely terrified. It wasn't just a few isolated incidents, it was a widespread phenomenon. And it wasn't just sightings either, the entire town was on edge. Residents of Point Pleasant started reporting all sorts of strange phenomena. It was like the Mothman brought a wave of weirdness with it. TVs went haywire, flickering with static and broadcasting nothing but white noise. It was as if the creature was interfering with the very fabric of reality. Unexplained noises echoed through the night, sounds that made the hair on the back of your neck stand on end. It was like the town was living in a horror movie. Pets went missing, never to be seen again. It was heartbreaking and added to the growing sense of dread. It was like the whole town had entered the twilight zone. Nothing felt normal anymore. One story, in particular, sends chills down my spine. It's the kind of story that makes you question everything you thought you knew. A woman named Marcella Bennett claimed she encountered the Mothman outside the TNT area. This place was already creepy, and her story just added to its eerie reputation. Marcella was so terrified that she dropped her baby. Can you imagine the sheer terror she must have felt in that moment? The Mothman was becoming a full-blown phenomenon, and people were starting to wonder if there was more to this creature than met the eye. Was it a harbinger of doom, a supernatural being, or something else entirely? December 15, 1967, a date that would forever be etched in the memory of Point Pleasant. It was a day that would forever be etched in the memory of Point Pleasant, a day that would forever link this small town with the legend of the Mothman. The town, known for its quiet streets and close-knit community, would never be the same. It was the day the Silver Bridge collapsed. This bridge, a vital artery connecting Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, was a symbol of progress and connection. Imagine this. It's rush hour, the holiday season is in full swing, and people are just trying to get home to their families. The streets are bustling with last-minute shoppers, and the air is filled with the festive spirit of the season. The Silver Bridge, a massive chain-link bridge connecting Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, is bustling with cars and trucks. The bridge, built in 1928, was a marvel of engineering at the time. Then, without warning, disaster strikes. In a matter of seconds, the bridge that had stood for nearly 4 decades crumbled into the river below. The entire bridge, all 1,761 feet of it, buckled and twisted, sending cars and people plummeting into the icy waters of the Ohio River below. The scene was one of utter devastation. It was chaos, pure and simple. People were screaming, crying, and desperately trying to make sense of the catastrophe that had just unfolded before their eyes. Rescue workers struggled to reach survivors in the frigid darkness, and the nation watched in horror as the death toll continued to climb. The cold, dark waters of the Ohio River made rescue efforts even more challenging. 46 people lost their lives that night. 46 families were forever changed by the tragedy. 46 souls gone in an instant. The community came together to mourn and remember those who were lost. It was, and still is, one of the deadliest bridge disasters in American history. The impact of the collapse was felt far and wide, leading to changes in bridge safety regulations. The cause? A single, tiny fracture in a critical component of the bridge's structure. This minute flaw went unnoticed for years. A fracture that had gone unnoticed, a silent harbinger of the tragedy to come. It was a stark reminder of the importance of regular maintenance and inspection. Now here's where things get really strange. The collapse of the Silver Bridge seemed to mark the end of an era in Point Pleasant. After the collapse of the Silver Bridge, Mothman sightings stopped. The creature that had been seen by so many and had become a part of local lore simply vanished. It was as if the creature had vanished into thin air, its purpose, whatever it may have been, fulfilled. The mystery of the Mothman and the tragedy of the Silver Bridge remain intertwined in the annals of Point Pleasant's history. Okay, so we've got a town in chaos, a giant winged creature terrorizing the locals, and a bridge collapse that would make even the most hardened skeptic wonder if maybe, just maybe, there's something strange going on in Point Pleasant. But hold on folks, because the skeptics have entered the chat, and they've got a theory for us. According to the party poopers of the paranormal, the Mothman was nothing more than a, wait for it, a sandhill crane. Yes, you heard me right, a bird. Now I'll give them this. Sandhill cranes are pretty big birds. We're talking 4-foot wingspans, reddish plumage, and they're known to hang out near bodies of water. Plus, they've got these bright red patches around their eyes that, in low light, could be mistaken for glowing red peepers. The skeptics argue that the people of Point Pleasant, caught up in the hysteria of the moment, simply mistook a big, slightly creepy-looking bird for a supernatural being. They say the crane theory explains the sightings, the size, even the glowing eyes. Case closed, right? Well, not so fast. While the sandhill crane theory might hold water, pun intended, for some of the sightings, it doesn't explain everything. The year is 1975. Disco is all the rage, bell-bottoms are making a comeback for some reason, and a book titled The Mothman Prophecies hits the shelves. The author? None other than John Keel, a journalist with a nose for the strange and a knack for weaving a captivating tale. Keel, intrigued by the stories coming out of Point Pleasant, spent months on the ground, interviewing witnesses, poring over police reports, and trying to separate fact from fiction. His book became a bestseller, a chilling blend of eyewitness accounts, UFO lore, and speculation about the nature of reality itself. Keel believed that the Mothman was more than just a creature. It was a window into a realm beyond our understanding, a harbinger of strange events and unexplained phenomena. He connected the Mothman sightings to UFO reports, poltergeist activity, and even Men in Black encounters. It was a wild ride, folks, and it captured the imaginations of readers everywhere. Fast forward to 2002. Hollywood, never one to shy away from a good monster movie, decided to bring the Mothman Prophecies to the big screen. You'd think that after a string of terrifying sightings and a devastating bridge collapse, the last thing the folks in Point Pleasant would want to do is celebrate the creature that had become synonymous with their town's tragedy. But you know what? They did the unexpected. They embraced the weird. They turned fear into festivity. Every September, the streets of Point Pleasant transform into a haven for all things Mothman. We're talking about the annual Mothman Festival, a celebration of the bizarre, the unexplained, and the downright creepy. People flock from all corners of the globe to this small West Virginia town to immerse themselves in all things Mothman. They've got it all, folks. Live music, guest speakers, hayrides, vendor booths selling everything from Mothman plushies to Mothman hot sauce. And the centerpiece of it all? A towering 12-foot-tall Mothman statue, its glowing red eyes watching over the festivities. It's a sight to behold, folks, and it perfectly captures the town's unique relationship with its legendary cryptid. But the Mothman Festival isn't just about having a good time. Here we are, folks, at the end of our journey into the heart of the Mothman mystery. We've explored the chilling sightings, the tragic bridge collapse, the scientific explanations, and the cultural impact of this enigmatic creature. But the question remains, what was the Mothman? Was it a case of mistaken identity, a simple sandhill crane blown out of proportion by fear and imagination? Or was it something more, something stranger, something that defies our understanding of the natural world? Some believe it was a cryptid, a creature unknown to science, lurking on the fringes of our reality. Others whisper of interdimensional beings, of psychic energy, of a world beyond our senses, where creatures like the Mothman reside. There have been reported sightings of the Mothman since 1967, scattered across the globe, from the bustling streets of Chicago to the bustling cities of Japan. Some even claim to have seen the creature in the aftermath of disasters, as if it's drawn to tragedy. The Mothman remains an enigma, a puzzle with missing pieces, a mystery that continues to captivate and intrigue us. And there you have it, 7 shocking facts about the real Mothman story. From terrifying sightings to a tragic disaster, this legend has left a mark on Point Pleasant and the world. What do you think the Mothman was? A creature, a warning, or just a big misunderstanding? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to visit Point Pleasant yourself, check out the Mothman Museum, link in the description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more creepy true stories. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies. End screen with clips of related videos, a subscribe button, and a link to the Mothman Museum website.